this is all part of this Rogerian, like following this path is all part of this Rogerian process of listening. And listening is trying to figure out what the hell the other person is telling you. And understanding at the same time that they don't know. Like, especially if they're upset. They're not even sure what they're upset about. And they don't know what they want, you know. Because you can corner them by saying, well, you want to be attended to more, what do you want? And they'll try some weird defense like I told you already. Like, if you loved me, you'd already know, which is a cliche. And it's a foolish cliche, so you can't let that stop you. I should also tell you the sorts of barriers that people will put up if you listen to them too. So for example, let me see if I can think about it for a bit. Yeah, well, usually what happens is if you're pushing someone, say, but this is in a listening sort of way, it's like, what do you want? Why do you want that? What would be the conditions of your satisfaction? You're pushing them fairly hard to clearly articulate their concerns, and sometimes they're afraid to do that. And if you're trying to hash out an issue, people usually have like 5 routines they can go through. One is they block you with some, cliche, or they say something annoying, and then maybe they got one other verbal trick after that. And then once you push through that, then they cry or they get angry, and if you still don't stop, then they stomp off. And so if you're going to have a successful conversation about something difficult, you need a routine for each of those. It's like, just because the person's angry doesn't mean the conversation is over. And just because the person cries doesn't necessarily mean that you're a sadist. It's often tears are a trick. They mask anger. So, and what the person is doing in part is they're using their emotions as an exploratory technique to find out, how important is this? What happens if I just break down? Will the person shut up? And if the person shuts up, they think, oh, it's not that important. Right? Because they've been able to use a technique. I'm not saying this is conscious. It's deeper than conscious. It's just how people rub up against each other when they're trying to figure out how things are structured. And so if you quit when they get upset, then they think, oh, well, this thing isn't so important that it's worth this much upset. But if you continue, well, then they'll run away. Well, one of the things you have to do if you're in any kind of relationship is you've got to make a rule, which is you can leave, but you've got to come back. Like, we're not done with this. You can't run off. Because it's breaking the contract of the conversation. You've got to stay and hash it out. So